Hello, my friends. I wanted to report. Last month, I ran a course called Script Screen where I taught people how to use Claude or ChatGPT or whatever AI system you're using to generate scripts with a certain formatting. And then I taught them how to record and how to edit in the Edits app or using Descript. And then we went over what it's like to repurpose content and also the process of tracking your metrics so that you can see what content is working. And this is a recap of what I learned after teaching that workshop. I have led many classes, I've led many programs, I've led many trainings. I have worked in the digital marketing space for over 15 years. And parallel with that path, I've also done intuitive work like oracle card reading, energy clearings, future self activation. I've led guided meditation for a very long time, helping people release whatever energy they're carrying in their body that isn't congruent with who it is that they want to become. And even inside of this technical marketing work, I still feel like that's at the foundation of what it is that I do. So, first off, the thing that I didn't expect was for whatever reason, I think because I am so in using AI tools on a daily basis, that I didn't share on my sales page for Script to Screen that we would be using. We get into the first class and I start the process of showing them how to write scripts using the formula. And it dawns on me as I'm doing this that half of the class had never used AI before, never put a prompt or a question into ChatGPT or into Claude, like zero experience. And so I feel like I pivoted well. And what I was teaching, you could still do without using AI. It's what we used to do before we had the opportunity to use AI. It just takes a lot more time and it takes a lot more thought to create these things. That was the first thing, is that it didn't even occur to me to consider that the students joining me would have not used AI before. So that was a small pivot. And then the other thing that I didn't anticipate, because I'm very much working with beginners, and that is really what I love doing. I love on any level, I love helping people cross that bridge from I have this idea, but how do I get it from here to over there? And they don't have the experience. So laying out what the steps are, love it. But one hurdle that I didn't anticipate is just before you even record and understand the technicality of the steps that you have to go through to get the finished video, you have to, some of us, and I'm sure there's still moments depending on what I'm talking about where there's a fear of me posting. You have to get over that fear that you're holding of how am I going to be perceived? Am I doing this right? It's scary putting myself out there in a new way. I feel vulnerable doing a new thing publicly. And so my course structure really didn't speak to any of that. I found some other resources to support them. And of course, in the conversations for the course, I was able to support them, but that wasn't a piece of my curriculum that I had originally planned. And so moving forward, that will definitely be part of the course itself. Something that I feel worked really well in the course was the way it was structured. So on Fridays, I delivered a training and people would normally attend live for that. And the next day, the recording is available with all of the documents that are necessary to homework or the resources that I discussed in the training. And then on Saturday, there's a follow-up Ask Me Anything. So if you do implement some of the things that you learned in the Friday training, you can show up on Saturday and ask me questions. And then on Monday, I had a mind support call so that people could show up and talk through whatever was coming up for them. That Monday call was probably the least attended one. And maybe that time and day wasn't the best time to host something because everybody's mind is in a different place on Mondays. I know mine is. Today is a Monday, actually. So that worked really well. Also for the attendees and also just for me and how I work. So coming up, I'm in August right now. On the 13th, I'm leading a workshop called Your First Sale. So this will be a test for this as well. I haven't led a workshop like this in quite some time. Eventually, what I would like to build up is an ongoing membership where every month we have a different training. Anybody who pays for the membership gets access to all of the previous trainings and courses that are in that membership area. The mission of what I'm building at Intuitive Marketing and Design, which is actually where I provide done-for-you services, is that there's a community called Intuitive Entrepreneurs. And every month we're gathering together, we're networking together, we're learning together, we're growing together, because you can learn all of these marketing tools and techniques and put them into practice. But a lot of us, and not everyone, some people are great at going solo and figuring it out and charging ahead. But a lot of us need that community or that encouragement or that space to talk through what it is that you're struggling with as you're getting started and figuring it out. I think there's some kind of expectation that you can just begin and immediately get all of these wild, successful results that you're wanting. And that's not necessarily true. You can't make one post and think that you're going to make $100,000 a month. You can't even make 30 posts over 30 days and expect to make that in a month. It takes time to build up not only your skills and your new habits that you're developing, but also your mental landscape, because it does take something mentally to keep at this. You have to go through a lot of no's to get to the yes. And that doesn't mean that the yes isn't worth it. It is absolutely worth it. I'm still here after all this time. But that mental stamina is sometimes more easily developed when you're in a community that's supportive and when you have people around you who are cheering you on and can hold space to believe in what is possible for you even when you can't. So that's my intention of what I am creating with Intuitive Entrepreneurs. And my other goal is that every day on YouTube this month, or at least every weekday, I want to share some kind of training with you, some kind of small training that you can easily implement, right there that day, that will contribute to your overall business landscape. So if you're an intuitive entrepreneur, this means coaches, healers, energy workers, tarot card readers, oracle card readers, you have a crystal shop, or maybe you have a mainstream business, but you consider yourself to be a heart-centered intuitive entrepreneur. You develop the landscape of your business based on what you're feeling and what you're feeling called to. This is a space for you to be here. Okay. So stay tuned. That's the debrief on the program that I ran last month. I brought in $1,000 from signups. About half of the people who signed up actively participated and learned something. I overestimated the knowledge that this group of people would have already showed up with. And so that gives me permission to go even more to the basics, even more to the fundamentals in what I am teaching, because there's obviously things that we have to work through, move through before we even get to that place of, okay, I wrote the script, I'm recording the video, I'm editing the video, I posted the video. And again, it's not just that easy. There's some preliminary stuff that comes before that for those of us who haven't already found the groove with recording and creating content. So now I know, and I'm going to use all that information to inform the next time I run that offer. But coming up on August 13th, if you would like to join me for your first sale workshop, that link is below. It's $27 to sign up. It's just a 90-minute period of time, so you can join me for that. And the other thing that I'm doing is testing a TikTok account that the only posts that I'm making are 6-second clips with text over B-roll. Because I've watched a couple of people grow their TikTok accounts to over 200,000 people with really only that type of content. And not only have they grown their audience, they've also gotten sales and grown their businesses too. So I'm trying all the different things in a variety of places so that you have the information that you need to make an informed decision when you get there to decide what the best path is for you. But please subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave me a comment if you have any questions or there's something that you want to share that I can speak to. I am here for you, intuitive entrepreneur. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.